Hello. Good evening, everyone. Am I live? I believe I'm live. How are you guys doing? I'm just chilling in front of the pond, getting ready to talk about some deep stuff. I see y'all been chatting in the chat. How's it going? We have a special guest tonight. So, I think you all already know, but let's go ahead and... Okay, can I get an audio check, though? Because I don't know how this audio is working. I'm hoping it's working. We'll find out. Welcome to Oddball Aquatics. Get, there it goes. The king of DIY, Joey himself, is here with us to talk about some serious stuff, and we're going to talk about it in a way that's not so serious because I can't do that. So what's up, Joey?
I'm doing my. Am I on? Am I live?
Yeah, you're live.
Oh my god, I'm so nervous.
Are you? Why are you nervous? Why would you be nervous?
I didn't know I was live.
You're live.
Picking my nose again.
Okay, we'll quit doing that. That's not going to help you out.
Yeah. So, you were saying that like you were sitting in front of your pond, but it has bright lights. It looks like it's daylight out there, and it's really dark here.
Yeah, that light is insane. It's like the surface of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like, I don't know, 12 bulbs in it.
Jeez.
It's ridiculous, but it grows plants really well.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I'm trying to simulate Africa. Like, hardcore. It rains in there too. Like this lid comes down and it rains.
Right.
It's going to be destroyed soon because it's like falling apart because I made it out of wood. But what do you do?
Yeah. So for those that don't know me over here on Haley's channel, Oddball Aquatics, my name is Joey Mullen, also known as the King of DIY. I've been making videos for about 12 years, similar to what Haley does, talking about aquariums. She invited me the other day. We've known each other off and on for probably a couple of years now, right?
Like a year and a half?
Yeah, I've seen you at a couple events. And she recently invited me on to her live stream to talk about, well, really whatever she wants. But I think the focus was she saw my video on how aquariums saved my life and forever changed it. And she has a similar story that I don't think I've ever heard before. And for me, it was quite shocking to hear, but not necessarily because the hobby affects a tremendous amount of people, believe it or not. And we all have a lot more in common than most think. So Haley, if you want to start, I'd love to hear your story because you haven't told me anything.
I don't know if mine's quite a story like yours is, like somebody bought you an aquarium and it changed everything. But like, I suffer from OCD and anxiety, and I have my whole life. Like, it's been like crippling at times. And I always try to control everything. And one of the things that aquariums helps me with is it gives me somewhere to focus that energy. Yeah. Like I can control everything I want to about that system. It's kind of like a God complex almost.
I've talked about this before about depression and anxiety, and I have the same form of anxiety when I'm not a control freak until I don't know what's coming next and I don't know what's about to happen, and I kind of shut down. I don't want anything to do with it. I can show symptoms of like anger, frustration, just saying things I don't mean. Right. And you're right, it can be crippling at times. And I do find with the hobby, just like yourself, you get to control, a lot of the aspects about it. But for me, I find the hobby is like a meditation process for me. And that's kind of why I got into like building a lot of things, is I found that as soon as I started building something or setting something up, I didn't have any sort of anxiety whatsoever any longer, and seen a massive change in myself, and really was just becoming more self-aware and how to kind of deal with it. And I think that's important for anybody with those types of illnesses, is essentially what they are, is to attempt to occupy yourself doing things you truly enjoy doing and get away from the poisonous things that you thought you enjoyed. And I think
that's kind of where my story was, is to treat that anxiety and, fear and OCD. I turned to drugs. So I'm actually a recovered addict. I've been clean for, I think, like 14 or 15 years now.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember the date because I don't find that to be helpful with recovery, to have like a celebration day where like that's just a really easy way to relapse, and I'm not going to do that. So
Just
I don't
gonna
really
pause,
know whether it's been like 14 or 15 years, but
just going to pause you for two things. First of all, she's been sober for a decade and a half, and I'm looking at the video and it doesn't have nearly as many likes as the people watching. Can we support her and give her a pat on the back by doing that first and foremost?
I'm not looking for
I think that's pretty incredible. Hey, a pat on the back is nice, and to be told you're doing a good job is fantastic. And I think that as humans, we're so into ourselves and we're so scared to come out of our shells that it takes away from being able to step back and see that somebody else is doing something positive, whether you like it or not. They are doing something positive. And I think that you definitely deserve a pat on the back. And I think people watching could do that by giving you a thumbs up. Second thing I wanted to pause you was Evan just dropped a $99 super chat. And that's going to be American. That. So that will get you.
Sure.
Yeah, that'll.
You're back.
Evan says that he wants you to go on a romantic dinner and to think of. No, he didn't say that. No. But yeah, no. He's just.
No, that'll be going towards more rope fish. I'm going to be the first person in the world to breed freshwater rope fish.
To breed them?
Yeah, successfully.
That's interesting. I always found rope fish to be mildly disgusting.
Oh, there's 4 of them right behind me.
I think that pipefish would be pretty interesting to breed.
Yeah, but then you got to do the whole brackish thing.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards maybe setting up a brackish aquarium. However, the small niche of fish that's actually available in the hobby is so small, even smaller for me being up here in Canada. It's really difficult to get a lot of stuff at times. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, because if I did, I'd have to do the basic archer fish and monos and maybe some scats.
Archer fish would be cool though.
Yeah, they'd be cool if it was a big enough aquarium, like say the 375, where I could set it up so half the tank is empty and I fill the top, almost like a paludarium, and we can actually see the archer fish exhibit those traits, because archer fish do get relatively big. Most species 6 to 8 inches minimum, some even getting even larger. And there's not just one species of archer fish either. It's the same with scats and monos. There's a few different ones, and they all have different traits and come from different localities that might display something more equally interesting to the next, but not all doing the same thing. I like all archer fish. I don't believe all archer fish actively will hunt for their prey in the aquarium. But that'd be definitely interesting to try out. You
want to know what my rope fish do?
What's that?
They jump out of the water and hunt prey on land.
Oh, they could breathe. Can they breathe, or can they? What do they have? Like a labyrinth organ? Yeah,
they have a lung.
Oh, they have lungs. Okay, yeah, I don't know much about rope fish. I know that they're gross and they remind me of a wet snake, and I don't want nothing to do with
them. They are, but no, they're amazing. Whatever.
They're like a big giant earthworm. They're like Canadian night crawlers.
You're from Canada. You don't. Yeah. Rope fish are awesome.
Yeah, definitely a curious creature for sure. I think that there's a lot of fish just like that get slept on in the hobby that are not necessarily flashy and big and cool, that don't get enough attention. Like, I don't know if you remember like the craze that the shell dwellers started a long time ago. And next thing you know, everybody wanted them. And it was really interesting for me to like showcase a fish that I just found was interesting, wasn't that big or colorful, but was fascinating to watch. Right. And I really enjoyed seeing a lot of other hobbyists try them out and open their eyes to other fish, just like the walroo, South American cichlid, the walroo amphicanthoids. That's like green and grays and blacks, not a flashy looking fish at all, but it makes what it lacks and looks is certainly makes up for fascinating behavior in a multitude of ways. And that's never been my goal, is to like introduce people to like those types of fish, but it is interesting to know, and rewarding even to know, that I'm not the only one that actually enjoys a lot of the fish's, activity traits. And so I just like familiar faces in your chat. You got LRB, you got
he's in there.
Science Gal, she's cool. Did you ever meet her?
Carrie, yeah, she's like my bestie. She's a little mini version of me. I love her.
One of the things that I struggle with is understanding is why LRB Aquatics isn't more popular. But you can't control the YouTube algorithm. Like 2 years ago, I was pulling in like 10 million views a month. And now I'm like, where is everybody? But that's like a lot of the times when you see, like I blew up, right? Like 2-3 years ago, it like completely blew up, hit 1 million subscribers. But those were not, a lot of those were not hobbyists that stuck around. Those are people that are curious and interested for a video or two and, you know, moved on. And I think that's one of the important things with people that have a slow burning channel that's slowly growing. It's probably mainly aquarium hobbyists that are actually watching you. I think the benefit to what I did was I most likely got a lot of people into the hobby. I know I did. I see the messages and whatnot, but the downside is a lot of those views don't stay forever. Although from a channel standpoint, when you're looking at your numbers, 10 to 15% is what you should be getting for views in comparison, like the ratio to subscribers. So you have a couple thousand subscribers. I wouldn't be surprised if you do 200, 250 views per video. Something like 300. Is that what you do?
I have no idea.
I'll have to peek.
I don't pay attention.
This turned into
I'm a really bad.
Oh wow, you're doing more than that.
The only reason I do this is because I want people to see what I'm doing and I want to document what I'm doing. Like,
oh yeah, of course, absolutely. And I think that's a confusing trait. Like Joey only does it for this or that. But I started 12 years ago when there was no YouTube revenue. You couldn't make money. I was just doing it to share my hobby and seeing what other people were interested in. Years went by. It took me 3 years to get my first subscriber, I believe it was. No, it took me 2 years to get my first subscriber, 3 years to get 25 subscribers of nonstop, weekly, bi-weekly, triple videos a week. I did it for the same, reasons that you're doing it. Let's just share your passion and enjoy the community. It was a long time ago when I actually discovered there was a separate community on YouTube, because originally I was just uploading to share it, to have somewhere to put my videos, to share it to forums that I was a member of or my local club. But yeah, I think that the best thing to do with your channel and any channel is, if you're uploading videos, is to upload it for the right reasons and coming from your heart. A lot of people burn out fast when they put too much energy into this, or they have so much hope, or they'll start thinking, like, I've seen a ton of channels that were fans of mine and eventually, turned on me. And a lot of it has to do with like discovering just how difficult YouTube is. And in behind the scenes, because I used to feel this way too. I'd watch bigger channels than mine and be like, I'm better than you. I can make my videos are better than you. But the algorithm is not on our side. We can't control it. I don't think the top 10 channels on YouTube for aquariums are the top 10 best channels for aquariums on YouTube. I think the best channels don't even really have many subscribers, maybe 20, 50, 100, 200, something like that. But based on the algorithm, it's watch time and clicks and all this other stuff. I stopped worrying about numbers about a year or two ago, when I truly just don't care anymore. I'm just happy, because it will slowly. And even making videos started to give me anxiety. Like, oh, I hope people like this and enjoy it. Now I grab my camera, and it's pretty evident because my videos certainly aren't rehearsed. I just grab it and I talk about whatever is making me excited right then and there. And I haven't been happier. I would say the last 2 years, I've been more happy than the previous 10 combined.
Yeah, your videos pretty recently have been pretty darn cool. Just like, that's what I do. I just update people on what's going on in here. I don't know what that was. Probably the dog. Yeah, because that's all I can do. But I also do like rap videos, so.
Yeah, you do. Do you actually? I know you did
weird. One. I don't know.
I know you did one for the contest. You almost won. I think I watched yours on the contest announcement thing, and
which I
didn't. I probably should have put more thought into who should have won and why, and but I did want it to be a little more sporadic. And however, I'm very emotional, and I get caught up in the moment, so I just picked the two that I thought were the best. Now the flight and everything, that was my money. It was supposed to be my money, and I was like, I don't want it. It was a payment for promotion and speaking and all the other things that I was doing, and I was like, let's give it to hobbyists instead, which is I think it was a good idea, but I believe I was so busy at those events, which I usually am. I don't think I'll be this busy. Are you going to Aquashella Dallas?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was gonna be a good one. It's bigger location, better hotel, et cetera, et cetera.
Dallas is much better.
Yeah.
Except the roads. The roads are horrible. I'm not driving. Amber, you have to drive. I'm not driving.
Yeah.
Those roads are insane.
I have been renting cars when I travel. I never used to. I was scared to leave the hotel. I used to have bad. Do you know? Okay, so I'll give you an inside peek of the first time Joey ever traveled outside of Canada. It was to an aquatic event. Do you know who? Well, yeah, everybody knows him. Dustin Wunderlich, Dustin's Fish Tanks.
Yes, I know who Dustin is.
The first event I ever went to, me and him agreed to share a room. Anyways, I get there. I check in with him. I go up to the room and immediately have the biggest anxiety attack I ever had. This was in Louisville, Kentucky, and no disrespect for them, but maybe it was just the environment or the location, but I don't get exposed to a lot of like blatant racism a lot, but the racism there was so bad. Not towards me. I could see it and overhear it. I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to be there anymore. I was bawling my eyes out in my room, this grown man, just a number of reasons. Nothing was what I was expecting it to be. I felt like I shouldn't even be here. I didn't like anything. And, I couldn't get a flight home for 2 days. So I just had to rough it out. But my first experience at any aquatic event, within the first hour, I was in my room, like just bawling, wanting to go home like a big baby. Yeah.
I think my first, I don't know. I go to club meetings. Like those are that's the most events I go to. I mean, I go to the big events like Dallas or whatever, but
yeah.
Mostly
I think the big events for me cover a lot of bases, and I enjoy them a lot. However, I come from a club background as well, of the organized hobby. Before YouTube, I was involved in my local aquarium club as on the board of directors, then vice president, then president,
I'm the secretary of my club.
What's that?
I'm the secretary of my club.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Do you enjoy it? The thing about working with clubs is, from the outside looking in, it looks like it'd be a ton of fun, but it's literally the most thankless job I've ever had. Of anything I've ever done. No matter what you do, it's not enough. You're not being paid. You're not making any money. You don't really have perks other than you do create a database of contacts. Yeah. I don't think I would do it again, but the reason I met other hobbyists was through my local club, and I had a tremendous amount of fun and gained a lot of experience and things that I could never have done on the internet. So I'm a big advocate of supporting your local club, even bigger of supporting your local fish store. We all shop online, of course, but I believe, and it's not even a belief, it's the lifeblood of the aquarium hobby is your local fish store and your aquarium clubs. Yet a lot of the times these take a back seat. So I have tried in the past to promote a lot of clubs by speaking at them, and not charging anything or anything like that. Just get them going, double their membership, do whatever I can. And of course, I tour my local fish store all the time. And I think that's more for selfish reasons, just to make sure I always have a local fish store that's actually pretty good, because when stores open around here, they last an average of 1 to 2 years. That's not an average, but let's say an average of 2 years, and then they close. Not enough people know about them, not making enough money, the overhead's too much, etc. And that's been this case. I mean, we had massive fish store chains go bankrupt here. But my local fish store now, One Fish, Two Fish, is probably the longest standing fish store in in recent times, like in the past 10 years type of deal, which is pretty awesome, seeing as a lot of that has to do with social media.
Yeah.
However, I still shop online too. I mean, some things I can't get and I need them right away. He's got to order them. It could take a week or two, where if I get it online, it might just be here the next day. So all depends.
Yeah, I work for an online aquatics retailer. So you can also buy online at aquaticarts.com.
What is it?
Aquatic Arts.
Link in the description.
Yeah, it's not in there, but I'll put it in there.
Where is it? Aquaticgardens.com?
Aquatic Arts.
Oh, Aquatic Arts.
Yes, arts, like the arts.
Yeah. .com?
Yeah.
I thought you said .ca for a second. Whenever I hear .ca, I get excited. I'm like, ooh, I can shop there.
No, I don't even know what that means. Is that a Canadian thing?
.ca?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, I don't know if it's officially Canadian, but I always thought .ca was Canadian. Yeah.
No idea. No idea. So, yeah, so my story really isn't that like there's a big story, but like that's how I channel. And instead of like being on all kinds of medication and going to therapy and all that nonsense because I've been through all that and it doesn't really work for me,
Mhm.
I just have a lot of fish tanks.
Yeah.
And that allows me to like get that out. So, you know.
Well, so based on my experience in the hobby and getting to meet as many people as I have, I've realized one thing, and maybe it's just the people that come to see me, is that I would say like 80%, if not higher, of the hobby is made up of people with troubled pasts, mental illnesses, and I don't mean like I mean like depression, anxiety, etc., and or is a police officer. There's
A
a
police
lot of
officer. Oh my god, I was just about to say that. I was like, in half
yeah,
of
a
my
lot of them, a
so
lot of
many
hobbyists.
people.
Yeah.
The aquariums are police officers.
Yeah. So I was in New York speaking at the Brooklyn Aquarium Society. At the end of the talk, two cops came up to me and they're like, "We're with the New York NYPD, New York Police Department." I was like, "Oh shoot!" And I'm racking my brain. Like I know I'm not on my best behavior at all times when I come to the States, but I don't remember anything at this visit. They're like, "We're huge fans." The whole department. Like I was like, "Oh wow, that's great." Yeah. I was like, "This means nothing right now. Wait till you pull me over, then you could be my fan."
I need that one. Can I save that card?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, they gave me all kinds of cool stuff like official patches and hats. And it happened in LA. It happened in Chicago. It happened in Maryland. I'm not sure if it happened in Dallas or not. But yeah, it happens all over the place. And it's fascinating to realize that. See, the hobby is interesting to me for a couple of reasons. One is it's like one of the only times in your life where you don't care what the person does for a job. You don't care what color they are, what religion they follow. I think that the hobby is a massive equalizer, and the only thing we care about is your tanks. Show us your tanks. I don't care about everything else. I don't care about your political beliefs. I don't care about any of that. And I never really talk about stuff like that. Like I'm Canadian, so we don't. Maybe I can't speak as a country, but for the most part, people in my life don't care about, not necessarily don't care, but we don't focus on politics and armies and things like that. But I think in the hobby, everybody becomes Canadian. Yeah. So if anybody making aquarium videos now has to start saying "a."
Not gonna happen. Not a chance, bro. America for life. I have zero political affiliations because I don't have time for all that. Like, that's too much for my brain.
What's
you said meditation.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing? Like, so my favorite thing to like calm my nerves and like the most satisfying thing to me is like scraping the front glass and seeing.
Yeah, well, that's that.
Like ASMR
satisfying experience. Yeah. What are they? There's like videos where it's like surprisingly satisfying.
That's what you should make ASMR videos of. Breaking algae, like it's just all grown in, and then I would watch that.
No, see, meditation for me, I'm a scatterbrain. My mind's going a mile a minute. And a lot of people with anxiety will experience that, especially like. So to put things into perspective, if you were to look at the past 12 years of your life, you've and I don't know for sure about yourself, but I mean, people have died in your life, or you've gone through relationship changes. You've had really detrimental things, at least in the past 12 years, that have happened. Same with me. I've gone through a lot in the past 12 years, but I keep getting on camera no matter what's going on in my life. So people assume nothing is ever wrong. However, when I start building something or I'm working on one of my tanks, I've had friends come over and help me. And usually it's just a lot of times it's because I'm lonely and I just want somebody to hang out with, and we don't really get a whole lot done. Gary comes over and we help move the big tanks, but for the most part, we just hang out and talk. But for me, it's a moment to just be alone, and I have a focused job to do that has an end result that I'm really going to enjoy. And for, a split moment in time, my mind is at rest.
Right? Because you don't have to focus on anything else. It's just this tank.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I can relate.
Yeah. So there was a time like maybe 6 months to a year ago. I'm really bad with association of things. So there's I don't know how much I should talk about right now because it's kind of still ongoing, but a lot of people are trying to take advantage of me and my situation that's close to me in my life. Um, and I
That's
started
important.
and I started associating any sort of success I had with like, or any money I was making, anything like that, with like, nobody would be doing this to me if I didn't have this money or success. I'd be just be normal Joey again. You know that saying, more money, more problems. You know,
Well,
I
you know
believe there's
what we say here at Oddball Aquatics? We say live your best life because you just gotta ignore that kind of stuff.
yeah, but it's
That's
affecting.
what my channel's really about, is about helping people live their best life, because
Yeah.
I've got problems, you've got problems, everybody's got problems. You got to deal with your stuff, go to work, move on, get done what you need to get done, and keep living your best life in this moment right now. Because 5 minutes from now doesn't really matter. What can you be doing right now? What are you supposed to be doing? What could you be doing that, you know, is something that would advance whatever you're trying to accomplish? Do it right now. That's that's just how you have to live your life. Because if you focus on all that negative stuff, like, I just don't even give it brain power anymore. And like people get mad because they see you as emotionless.
Yeah.
Really, you're just like, no, that really doesn't have any effect on me. You can comment on it, but I don't, you know.
Yeah.
I'm living my best life. What's up?
So, let's step away from that for a second. I kind of want to know what you have going on. I've never seen this. I'm really bad for like not checking in. I check in on my friends and what they're doing on their channel, but a lot of people say, well, I've said it past, it was taken out of context, where I've said I don't watch other channels. I didn't mean it like I'm arrogant and I don't watch anybody. What I mean is this: when I started making videos, I was watching other channels, one specifically, and I made a video where I caught myself, I started to make videos like them and sound like them. I found that watching people's videos too much is too influential. You could potentially start sounding like them. You see they're getting good views. You want to start filming and making videos like them. Oh, they did this video, so now it's influencing my decisions on which videos I'm going to make next. So that's what I mean by I don't watch videos religiously in the aquarium hobby, because I feel, for me personally, it takes away from my originality as a creator. With that said, that's the preface to this question, is like, what do you have going on now that you don't think many people have seen just yet? Looks like you have that. Yeah, you have that going on, which is pretty cool. How did you waterproof that? Is that a pond liner?
No, it's not waterproofed. I tried to waterproof it with that spray-on like sealant stuff.
Oh yeah.
That is not adequate for a wood situation that is 100% humidity. Like, it seriously rains in this setup. Like, you close the lid down and it becomes 100% enclosed. This is my pond. It's an indoor heated tropical pond. And I have two very old pairs of rope fish in here, because I'm trying to be the first person to breed rope fish successfully in an aquarium. And I got more rope fish growing out in there, because rope fish don't breed until they're like 15 years old, and they're all wild caught, so it's not like I can just order a 15-year-old rope fish.
Well, you also don't know how old those rope fish
That's
are.
what I'm saying. I have no idea how old they are.
Estimate, yeah.
It's all an estimation, so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go to Africa, but that hasn't happened yet so far, because the place I need to go to see like their natural habitat, not exactly safe.
Yeah. You know, I've never been interested in traveling to see natural habitats. I think a lot of that has to do with my youth. And I worked in the woods when I was younger, cutting trees down, and I hated it. I hated it with a passion. Eventually started hating the smell of trees and the outdoors and anything. It's such a brutally difficult job that pays peanuts. But recently I've kind of opened up about getting in the ocean and getting in streams and stuff. And I find it incredibly fascinating. I think, though, that a lot of people want me to go to the Amazon. Amazon wouldn't be my first choice. I'd want to go to Malaysia and Singapore. I want to go to the Asian arowana farms. I want to see all of that stuff first, and then potentially go to the Amazon. But I think people that are visiting the Amazon, like YouTubers, I've seen a couple videos, and I truly feel like they're just dropping the ball. There's so much better content that potentially could have got made, but perhaps that's just me being biased, because I have visions of what I want to do, and they didn't do it. So now I got to go do it. So
Yo, now I gotta go do it. Like, you don't want to go do it.
Yeah, I don't want. It's a long road, or it's a
You
long
want
trip.
to.
I hate
Buck up.
planes.
Buck up. Yeah, I want to go to Nigeria, and that's like super dangerous. So
Yeah, I think like
not many people go in there.
the reason I went to Cuba was I had all these flying points saved and I had to get them used. So I was looking at places that I thought would be fun to make a video plus actually visit. And it kept coming back. And I also wanted a short flight. I hate flying, not because I'm scared. I just hate the entire process. It's exhausting. Cuba came up, but I see Nigeria as a no-fly zone, or it's like in the red list of don't visit, extreme caution, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Whereas
it's real
Cuba was not like
There's
that.
like a whole kidnapping thing.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to go to
later.
in April or May.
What?
I have in April or May, one of the two. I'd have to look, but I'm going to go to Jamaica and kind of do the same thing there as well.
Oh, that's sweet. What, you gonna swim with dolphins there too?
No. People didn't like that.
I'm gonna do that one day, but with sturgeons.
Sturgeons, yeah.
A lot of sturgeons.
I have to go to a wedding there. That's the main thing. So that's really going. But I figured I'm gonna bring my camera and do some cool stuff too. I don't think I'll build another tank though. I don't think I'll get through security again.
You took that tank through airport security?
Yeah. Well, it was all raw materials, like sheets of acrylic, and they're like, "What's this for?" And I was like,
"Building a square.
I'm going to paint. I lie. I said I thought they're gonna take it from us. So I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna use them to paint pictures on of what I see." And they're like, "Oh, you're an artist? Do you sell these? Do you have an Etsy?" I was like, "No, I just kind of." No, just for fun. Okay, on your way. I was like, oh. And then I heard Cuba had even worse security. I was like, they're going to take this. Because if you don't need it for your vacation, they take it. But when I got through customs, then you go through security, and they only asked me one thing. They're like, are you Canadian? And I said, yeah. And they're like, okay, over there. And they just put everything through the x-ray, and that was it. And I was like, oh, man, it's Americans that would have the problems coming through here. Yeah.
Welcome to America.
But I mean, you don't look American. There's no way to look like you're American.
How do I not look American? I look like I literally walked out of a trailer. Like,
I grew up in a trailer.
Like the picture of the chick that like was gonna show up hanging out outside the trailer. Yeah. I mean, did I not get that straw in life? Like, you pull straws in life.
Did you ever? I lived in a big trailer court before for many years. Did you ever hear?
Me too.
Did you ever hear the Trailer Park Boys?
I love the Trailer Park Boys.
Okay.
Like 100% obsessed.
So here's fun facts. The trailer park that they filmed their last few seasons in is the one I lived in.
Oh, and
yeah. Even more interesting is that when I believe I was 19 or 20, I lived in Julian's
trailer.
What's that?
In Julian's trailer.
The one where they turned into like a drugstore, like a pharmacy, not the bar, but the one right beside it. My trailer was so bad, I was paying $100 a month to stay there, plus lot fees of like $50, and then I paid. But anyways, I was falling through the floor.
Fees are only $50 in Canada.
Something like that. I don't remember. I was 19. I'm much older now. This was 18 years ago. But yeah, so that trailer was in such bad condition that Trailer Park Boys eventually bought it and they filmed in that. I think it's all towed away now. They're not going to be making any more.
I love that show.
They all live in Nova Scotia for the most part. So I partied with them.
I heard they go to bars and just like hang out.
What's that?
I heard they go to bars and just like hang out.
I've hung out with them before.
Yeah, they're so
my friend was having some sort of a party and he required a limo. So we had a limo, and then we got Leahy and Randy in the limo with us. We drove around in that for a while.
Why would you let the cheeseburglar in your car?
Bubbles is pretty interesting in person. Normal guy, but if you want him to be Bubbles, he'll be Bubbles. I don't know.
If you want him to be Bubbles, he'll just be Bubbles.
Yeah, he'll do some
He's a totally different person.
I mean, those guys don't pay for any drinks or anything like that.
Cool and all, but can Bubbles come in? Because it's like Conky. Yeah. That's why. Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, they're all from around here for the most part.
What has this become? Trailer Park Boys is so amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm trying to think of other Canadian things I know about. But I feel like that's a little bit racist. Is that racist?
Prejudice. You can't be racist against a country.
Well, whatever.
I suppose you could be.
Because words matter.
Canadian isn't a race. I don't know. I think maybe Canadians are a race.
I'm sorry. What? How do you pronounce potassium permanganate?
What?
Can you say that one for me?
Potassium permanganate?
Permanganate?
I don't know what you said.
Yeah, no, permanganate.
Permanganate.
Permanganate. Oh, that's funny. So yeah, we had a topic and we totally left it in the dark for Trailer Park Boys.
Well, I think there's only so much you could do to talk about it. I think it's I think it opens the doorway for further discussions and for other people that watch this. Is that I think the biggest message for people struggling and to see people that make videos that they enjoy, like ourselves, they can see that like you're not alone. It affects a tremendous amount of people, and
I'm alone right now.
You might assume.
Amber is here. I'm alone right now. She was supposed to come back in, but she didn't.
Betta, what's her thing?
Amber from Big City Bettas.
Big City Bettas. I checked.
She's here from Vermont. She's doing a talk at the Circle City Aquarium Club tomorrow.
Oh.
About wild bettas, and it's going to be amazing.
Oh.
And then the week after that, we go to Maryland for the Big Fish Deal.
Yeah. I went to that for like 3 years straight, and then I think that they wanted to do something different because I think like when I started going, there was like a lot of fans coming, and they wanted to make sure it was still about the Big Fish Deal and their clubs and whatnot, not like a Joey meetup. So I haven't been able to go back. They haven't asked me, and I assume that's probably why. I do ruin a lot of things with like too many like fans coming, and it's good for them and brings awareness. But
just show up and hang out with us, and don't announce that you're coming or whatever.
In 2 weeks, I've done that for events. I've gone to some events without announcing it to anybody. I'm way too.
Don't announce it here, but like, we're going to be in Maryland on the 14th.
Yeah, and that's a straight flight for me, like a 3 or 4 hour flight. It's not that bad. No, I'm just the next couple weeks, the next month, really. I can't go anywhere. I got too much to do. Especially this weekend, I get my 700 gallon. I got to go pick it up. I bought it like a month ago. I almost said a year ago. But the local fish store that recently just switched places and opened up 4 months ago bought a 700 gallon display tank for like $5,000 or something.
Yeah.
And then sold it to me.
Came out today, right?
Yeah, and then sold it to me for like $1,500. I was like,
on my way home from work.
He wanted to give it to me for free. He's like, if you just like mention the company's name, I'll give it to you for free, and then they can give me the tank at cost for the promotion. I was like, I can mention it anyways, but I'd rather just pay and help offset the cost. I feel a lot better about it.
Right.
So it wasn't.
Buy your next tank.
What's that?
I said, and then they buy your next tank, and you just pick that one up when they're ready to upgrade again.
No more.
Oh, whatever. You have multi-tank syndrome. No more isn't a real thing.
Well, for me, it can be because I've seen over the past like almost 2 decades now, like too much is too much. There's only so much time in a day and so much enjoyment you'll actually get out of an aquarium, and you're not going to get that if you're constantly just working on them. And for me, I think like for the next probably 10 months at least, I know I got massive plans for 2021 that doesn't involve this gallery. But for the remainder of 2020, everything I have here is all I'm going to have here. And then in 2021, we'll see a massive upgrade and location.
A massive upgrade.
Yeah. Or potentially triple.
Triple the amount of tanks?
Triple the space, minimum triple the space, yeah. And
that's cool.
Bigger tanks.
I just want to be able to get stuff into my basement.
Just this house, I bought it like when I had a regular job, and even then I couldn't afford it. I had to have my manager lie about how much money I was making so I could get it. And it's just a really old house, and it's aging fast, and needs a lot of work. and I just don't want to. I just don't like the location anymore. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to.
Yeah, I feel you. You're talking to somebody who lives in a house that's less than 1,000 square feet.
Yeah. Well, my house upstairs and
And
downstairs
old.
closer to 2,000, but it's like 40, 50 years old. And
I'm definitely exceeding the limits on my floors.
the what?
The weight limit on my floor.
Yeah.
Because I have a basement. So
Oh.
I have like 14 tanks in my dining room.
Oh wow.
And I'm pretty sure that eventually the floor is going to fall in.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Stay tuned. The floor might fall in.
Well, I think we've been live for getting on to an hour. I don't know how to check.
It's like 40 minutes. It's like 40 minutes, Joey.
Yeah.
You done? You over it?
Yeah. No, I can stay. I just don't want it to get boring for anybody.
Eventually, I have to close the lid on this pond because the humidity has already like left, and it needs to build back up in here. Because these plants, these are all immersed grown aquarium plants that are in here. There's like Anubis and stuff that have grown outside the water. You can't see it because it's like over there. It's over there. But yeah, a lot of plants, and they need water on their leaves.
Yeah.
So
do you spritz them?
no, it rains in there.
Oh, you got like it set up with PVC pipe and stuff?
No. Water evaporates and then rains back down.
Oh, okay.
It's like a fully enclosed tropical system.
Ah.
It's pretty awesome, but it's set up to be basically a swamp in Nigeria. So
You really want to go there? What's in Nigeria that you're so interested in? The rope fish?
Rope fish, bro. Did you not hear rope fish? Rope fish. Like I don't know what's confusing about rope fish, but rope fish. Like I'm doing other stuff. I have guppies. I'm one of very few people that's bred the Shodanai puffer, the freshwater scoot and fruity puffers. Yeah. I've got a trio of those, and I bred them. And I've got Bashirs that I'm breeding. But like rope fish is where it's at. I need to breed this fish.
I can't relate.
Why?
I could just go to the fishing supply store and buy some Canadian night crawlers.
They're not even half as cool, dude. You don't even know. They're like little water dragons, and they come up out of the water.
I thought I was gonna have a worm tank.
Oh,
they eventually die though. They do need oxygen.
Dude, I want like a 900-gallon rope fish tank, like full paludarium style. I think that'd be awesome. But I need more ponds so that I can keep doing this breeding project.
Yeah, agreed. I forgot to like your video.
They're trying to exit. Like this is what's happening to this. They're coming out. They're trying to escape.
They want out. Mm-hmm. Maybe you got to go bigger. Do you cultivate or do you harvest them and put them in aquariums?
Mm-hmm.
Do you sell them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now that makes sense because that's a lot of plants, but it's good.
Breeder and plant grower. Hi.
Breeder and plant grower hut?
I breed fish.
Yeah.
And I grow plants.
Well, how do people buy from you?
I usually just sell my stuff to whoever. So used to Lucas would sell my stuff on his website.
Yep.
lrbaquatics.com. And now if I have like excess stuff, I take it into Aquatic Arts and they sell it online.
Oh.
So like
have you ever thought about building your own website? Have you ever thought about building your own website and being a little more independent that way?
No.
Really simple, really easy.
No, because there's two ways that goes. You end up going the LRB way and you fill your entire house with fish tanks to the point where you literally get no sleep because it takes that long to change the water and you have to hire help.
Yeah, that's right. He has a lot of tanks. He got like over 100 aquariums, doesn't he?
Over 200, bro. Almost 3.
Yeah, that's not for me.
Aquariums. It took me a full 8-hour, 40-hour week to change all the water in his house. And that's with the RO running straight. And it runs like a tap. It's insane. He's insane. But anyways, what the heck was I saying? Now you got me all distracted.
Starting your own.
Oh yeah, I'm not like, I'm really good at sales. I've been a sales rep all my life. Like, I used to work for a flooring company and sell floor. I can sell anything, but I don't want to have a business that sells a physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm gonna work for myself, I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and if money happens, then it happens, and if not, then I'm gonna be
one of the interesting parts for, like, if you wanted to do this full time, one of the best pieces of advice I give you, and that I would give any aspiring YouTuber or somebody that's looking to be self-employed in any way, is you've got to look at your business like as a wagon wheel, and each spoke is a different revenue, a different path of revenue. Not all of them have to be big, but the more you have, the better. So merch, physical products, ad revenue, sponsorships, endorsements, appearances, etc. They all add up into something big. And if one of those spokes break, the wheel doesn't collapse. And what I see like a lot of lost potential for yourself, because you are selling your plants and stuff, but it's almost like a dependency thing where you have to depend on somebody else to help you do it. I think that with a lot of people that are trying to do this, and this is something that I went through a lot with Rachel and convincing her to do a lot of stuff, is the fear of the unknown and not knowing how to do a lot of it. And I can understand, and probably
I know how to do it. I did all of it for Lucas. I just
do it again. I think you'd be awesome at it. I think you'd be awesome at it. I think that
I just really don't want to have like a website that sells fish stuff. Like, if I have something that you want, just like let me know.
Well, nobody knows that. I think that if you had a plant website where you sell plants, there's lots of YouTubers that do that, and they're incredibly successful. But I think that if you scale it to your personal size, I don't think you have to. It's okay to sell out of stuff. It's okay to not have enough. But I think that that's when it becomes a little more of supply and demand, where you have something that they really want, and they're going to have to wait until you have it again. I think that you could potentially build a niche, but again, it's up to you. If that's something I'm not very good at selling stuff, and I never mentioned. What's that?
Can't I just become famous for breeding ropefish? Isn't that a thing?
Absolutely not.
No?
Maybe, who knows?
That's my goal, man. My vision is warehouses full of ropefish ponds.
Yeah. Well,
mass ropefish breeding.
I think somebody needs to pinch your arm.
I think that's what
wake you up. Hey, if that's what makes you happy to have that, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Live your best life.
This is coming from a guy that was teased for like many years for even having fish tanks. So it's me projecting.
Somebody for having a fish tank. Would you get called a nerd?
Oh, of course, yeah. And because of my background, it was even more shocking for them. But
a nerd,
as I like to say, who's laughing now?
Right? Any people watching from when Joey was a kid that called him a nerd. He is a nerd.
I'm still a nerd.
What's up? He is still a nerd.
Yeah.
But
Evan says that to me all the time, is like, no matter what we talk about or how cool we try to sound, at the end of the day, we're still fish keeping nerds. I was like, yeah, I guess. Yeah,
we stare at glass boxes and wonder, what's that fish thinking? What's it doing? Probably me more than you, because, you know, I stare at a lot of fish tanks.
Yeah.
Because I do what I love every day. I work for Aquatic Arts. I mean, what I love to do every day is work around fish and have time to think and kind of work at my own pace or whatever. And that's what I did for Lucas, and that's what I'm allowed to do basically for Aquatic Arts. So,
all right. Well,
yeah,
I don't know if you've realized what you've gotten yourself into, but you can run this by Rachel. When I see somebody that truly could use some motivation and a nice stern push towards realizing their full potential,
she'll kill
me. She got it for years. So I might turn you into my next little project.
Oh no, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, so be careful. You'll probably hear from me lots more, and checking up on you and looking into things and wondering why.
Why?
Yeah, but she was like an older school fish keeper that really had a lot of potential to share with the rest of the world as opposed to her local clubs. And that took a couple of years to kind of get her going and to show her things and to continuously push her and push her and push her. Now she's on auto drive. We don't really talk much about YouTube at all anymore because she's doing her thing. She's found her niche. She enjoys it, etc. And I think she even started a second channel. So, like, she's a legitimate YouTuber now, which is pretty incredible considering at one point she was like, nah. But most people in the hobby don't really take YouTube serious until they see the end results. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with you. I think we can get you going with a cute little website with a niche.
A cute little website.
Do I little website with ponies and unicorns,
right?
And like
this crazy
ice cream cones, and then you'll have your little niche products that are on limited supply.
Limited supply.
Way overpriced, but they did come from you.
Way overpriced. Yeah, I don't know.
The only way I would sell like fish and plants is if I way overprice them because my customer service is not good. I don't like it. I don't want to deal with it. I couldn't deal with somebody like, oh, your fish sucked because my fish died. I'd be like, oh, whoa.
Let me name 5 things that's wrong with that.
What's that?
I said, let me name 5 things that's wrong.
Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't be good. I'd go bankrupt in a week. But I think that based on your experience and what your background is and the continuous employment with customer service that you do, I think it's right up your alley. I don't think it's competing. However, I do think that it creates more awareness for yourself, your brand, and the ones you work with, and puts a little more change in your pocket because at the end of the day, we have to be honest with ourselves and know that bills have to be paid, and those sorts of stresses have to be alleviated so we can continue to produce the content and do the things that we enjoy.
I honestly just have to pull the plants out of there because if I don't, then it will go bad.
The what?
The plants. The reason that I sell them is because I have to pull them out of there. Like, yeah. Or
look at them. Nobody sells that. Well, I mean, maybe some, but I mean, those are some lush, healthy-looking plants. And just looking at them, I know there's no pesticides, there's no parasites, there's probably no snails. You're essentially selling.
No,
there's snails?
Snails there are, guys. Oh my God, bro. I have
those
snails.
are bonus. That's why you're paying extra. You're getting snails.
I got snails for days.
Yeah.
Like all day. I feed puffers. I have snails. Don't tell them about my snails. I have snails.
Somebody just said, MTS Anonymous says, marketing strategy. If brine shrimp can be sea monkeys, then surely rope fish can be rainbow unicorns.
I agree. Let's make them the next big thing. But actually, let's not until I can actually captive breed them because I don't want them all caught out of the wild. Let's send the
what if somebody stumbles across a wild pair and they breed within a day or two? Like in a couple of weeks.
Be so angry. There's been one person I've seen that's accidentally bred them, but he killed off all the babies. And there was one person that almost kept the fry alive past 20 weeks, but they ended up killing them. That was in the UK in like the 80s. So yeah, I'm gonna be the first person to do it successfully.
Well, I wish you
luck. Amazing.
I wish you luck in your earthworm.
They're not earthworms. Oh my God.
Let me make sure. I know what they look like, but I'm probably thinking of a specific species.
You don't know what a ropefish looks like?
Okay, so they're like long bichers without the rest of the appendages. They just have the.
They're not just. Oh my God.
They kind of look like a bicher, or a bashir, or a biker, however you want to pronounce it.
I'm sorry. They like don't look like a bite. First of all, it's bashir.
It kind of does look. Well, I guess those are pretty cool. Oh, no, I've seen I've never kept one. Just see them in the pet store. I'm aware of them and I know what they are, but they've never been appealing to me to the extent where I want to keep one. But my taste in fish and my appreciation for a lot of the oddballs have definitely changed over the years. So I'd be open to it.
I just really need people to change the way they keep them. So every time I see people have problems with ropefish, and trust me, I've done a ridiculous amount of research on this fish. They come up out of the water. Nobody ever gives them a place to do that. That's why they jump out and end up on the floor. And then they survive there for like 6 hours. You put them back in the tank and they're fine. As long as they don't dry out. But still, people need to learn how to keep the things that they're actually keeping.
Yeah. Well, that's a good, I think that like a good practice rope fish would be an earthworm.
No, it was not even. Wow. We have to let Joey go, you guys.
I just irritated
We're around
you.
here on Oddball Aquatics because Joey has my fish. I
turn around and flip that
Waru
over.
are pretty. I said Waru are cool. I like them. And then he wants to crap all over my fish. That's just rude. I'm sorry for you right now.
Oh,
The whole thing.
my
It was a
apologies.
perfect live stream, and then you had to come down on my fish.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do with you.
Well, just block me. It's the only
Yeah,
way
maybe
to do
we'll
me,
still be friends. You want to still be friends?
I guess.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Anyways, so I think we touched on this topic about as much as we're going to. My dog is chewing on my cable down here.
Yeah, let's call it quits. But let's also pencil in for us to do this another time at some point.
Oh, Lord. Well, you're thinking of the topic this time then, because I'm done.
Now that we broke the ice. Yeah, let's talk.
Topic.
I want to talk about earthworms in the aquarium.
I don't think you do. I really don't. Like, I think you want to talk about, I don't know. I don't.
Oh, there's a button where I can click that says leave studio. I can end whenever I want to.
You're going to run away.
I'm now in control.
Okay, well, I'm going to run away as well. Because I got to figure out which button to hit. I think it's this one up here in the corner. And I also have to find Amber because I think I lost her. Yeah. So, live your best life, guys. We had Joey on. Everybody say thank you, Joey, for being awesome and hanging out with us.
At the same time. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Joey.
Yeah.
Did you cool.
hear them? They're very loud. You just have to listen.
Yeah.
They're super loud. So, live your best life. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to Big Fish Deal next weekend. And I will see some of you there. And to everybody that's new in here, hello. I don't know if you want to stick around. I'm a little bit weird. That's why it's called Oddball Aquatics. I just talk about random stuff and I show you my fish. I have a lot of them. Joey has a lot of fish. He knows about that. Maybe check out his channel too. What is that? The King of DIY? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think. Yes.
No?
Yep. I think so.
All right. You guys be good. I will see you guys later. Live your best life.
See you guys.